If you're an entrepreneur and your business is not yet registered, if you're looking to grow your registered business, or you're an accomplished professional. Our Elevate program supports you with access to finance, access to markets, access to capacity building. Sign up now or refer a friend at ecobank.com/elevate. Elevate by EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
Jar Oil. The company has filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Santa Yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
It's 5 minutes past 9 o'clock on Monday, the 24th of August 2026. You're with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, and we are coming to you live on FM for the audience in the Gambia, 92.1 megahertz. And for our global audience, we're at www.wcr.gm. The Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, normally joins us on Tuesday, tomorrow, not today. But our plans changed rather dramatically this morning. Usainu Allen, leader of NAFA, was due to be with us, but unfortunately, he had to withdraw at the last minute for health reasons. We want sincerely to wish him well. And then despite having only returned from a long flight from China a few hours ago, Dr. Ceesay graciously agreed to come in and rescue this edition. So we are particularly grateful to him for being here. Doc, good morning, and thank you very much for coming. Yeah, you look busy. You seem still to be working. Is that what that is? Are you working on your updates or what?
Yes, I'm just working on, because I arrived this morning.
Absolutely.
I think we landed at, what was it, 5:50?
You know, when you said to me I would actually be arriving only around 5 a.m. and I will come straight to the studio, I thought you were joking, to be honest.
Why would I joke about it?
I really thought you were joking.
This is part of it's part of my job, so I see this as work.
Thank you so very much, for coming. A lot to talk about this morning.
Yes,
politically,
indeed.
But as always, you have a few updates, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. I have a few updates. First and foremost, from the Office of the President, the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, has declared Wednesday, 26th August. 2026, a public holiday nationwide, an observance of Maulid al-Nabi. I think it's called Gabo.
It is called Gabo.
So when there's a public, it's not tomorrow. I'm used to coming on Tuesday.
It's Wednesday.
So when there's a public holiday, the presidency also announced that His Excellency will proceed on a 15-day annual leave.
He's going on leave again? I thought he just came back from leave not so long ago.
No. The last time he took his leave was last year, October.
Okay.
He'll proceed on leave from August 24th, which is today, to the 15th of September 2026.
Oh, okay.
And will resume duties on September 16th. Now, another update from the Office of the President, which is already overtaken by events, is that His Excellency concluded his visit to Gabon, where he attended the 66th Independence Anniversary as special guest of honor. During his visit...
That was just a waste of taxpayers' funds. I mean, just to go and attend somebody else's swearing in. Huh?
Like I said, diplomacy is invaluable. You cannot put a cost to diplomacy. So for us, it's not a waste of taxpayers.
We and Gabon, already we have long-standing relations.
But I can also tell you that the Gambia did not pay for the flight. to go to Gabon.
Who did?
This was a special flight. This was offered by the Gabonese president to his brother, His Excellency President Adama Barrow.
And how many did Barrow take with him to Gabon? How many people?
Well, I wouldn't have that information for now, but I think these flights are normally not big flights, so therefore you don't take a whole lot of entourage. But I think let's look at the bigger picture. His Excellency took the opportunity to meet Gambians in Gabon, over 500 Gambians, and interacted with them. But also, it's Gambia is now trying to promote a more proactive, expansive diplomacy as part of our foreign policy and looking for new partners, particularly within the framework of South-South cooperation.
Gabon has oil.
So Gabon has oil. So I think it is good that he went to attend this, the special invitation of His Excellency, the President of Gabon. But also, it's been a very eventful week. The President at the same time also inaugurated a new mosque which he financed in Gunjur, a very, very beautiful mosque in Gunjur. At the same time also, he laid the foundation for some road projects in the West Coast region, in Brikama, in Sukuta, in Sinju as well, but also laid the foundation for a new market to be built in Sukuta as well for the residents of Sukuta. At the same time also, 7 tractors were handed over to communities in CRR and URR as part of President Barrow's agriculture community development program to strengthen agricultural production, mechanization, but also to promote rural livelihood. So these are the updates from the Office of the President. And then for the Ministry of, let me check which one is
your ministry. You should tell us why you went to China.
I will shortly. Okay. My ministry comes last.
Oh, really? Is that how you want it, or is that the order of the ministries?
No, that's how I want it.
Okay, all right. You want it to come last. Because usually people always say the last ministry is the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
So the Ministry of Interior, through the Gambia Immigration Department, announced a mobile biometric passport enrollment exercise in Spain and Italy, which starts the 4th to the 11th of October 2026 to improve access to passport service for Gambians in Europe. That is an important update. At the same time, also, the Ministry of Trade has issued an advisory clarifying that a circulating national grant scheme announcement was false, and they urged the public to verify government information through official channels. Now, the Ministry of Health, through the National Mental Health Program, convened the inaugural National Technical Working Group on Mental Health and Psychosocial Support to strengthen coordination among government institutions, development partners, and other stakeholders. We think this is important because mental health is something that we really don't pay attention to, but it is becoming a problem. Not only for Gambia, but also across the world. Now, I think we've got and by the way, the stadium has been approved. So now Gambia can play home games starting from September as well.
It's provisional approval. When we host the first 1 or 2 matches, CAF will, observe the situation.
Not the situation. It's the electronic scope, but there are certain things you cannot observe until there's a game.
With regard to, the inflow and outflow of spectators, journalists, how comfortably they can do their work and all of that. All of this will be observed by CAF.
Of course.
And if they are not satisfied, they will slap a ban again on us and say, well, continue working on A, B, C, and C. That is why the approval is provisional, temporary. All right, only for a short period.
But I think
I just thought we should make that clear.
I will. I was getting there.
Okay.
I was getting there. What I was trying to put across is that there are certain things that CAF cannot observe until action is taking place.
Exactly.
And these are the electronic scoreboard, whether functioning, some kind of soft infrastructure, security, and those things. But I think the most difficult part of the job has been done.
Yeah, which is the turf.
This stumbling block
was
the turf,
yes.
and which is now been resolved. Yeah. And I think those things are things that we can really deal with. If we're able to renovate a stadium that has not been touched and renovated since in the mid-80s, to the extent that now it looks like a very modern footballing sporting facility, and we have been successful in doing that, and we fail in those minor details, then there's an issue. I don't think that should be a problem. We think we have things under control.
Although I still insist, if we should have found a way of either building a completely new stadium on knocking this completely down and building
But I
a
think
new modern stadium.
the
We
government-
have pumped a lot of money in just renovating.
The government of the Gambia, under the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow, wants to build a new modern footballing facility, a new stadium, which could take about 60 to 100,000.
Potentially in Lamin.
But,
Yeah.
because of competing
Interests,
priorities,
yes,
not
priorities.
interest, competing priorities, at this moment, I think we don't have the resources to build a brand new stadium. It's expensive. So we had two options, just like Manchester United had two options. They said they either build a brand new stadium or they renovate Old Trafford. We also had two options. Either we renovate the Barrow Stadium or build a brand new stadium. It's a cost analysis, and we decided that it's cheaper for us to renovate and use this. And then once we make more money, we'll build a brand new stadium. A land has been allocated already in Lamin CDC to build a brand new stadium. I think we will at some point. But for now, because of competing priorities, we need healthcare improvement, access, we need electricity, we need water, we need education, security, agriculture. All these are sectors
Absolutely.
that demand
Agreed.
attention.
Agreed.
So therefore, we need to
Agreed.
focus
And
on
definitely sport is not, much as I love sport, I invest in sport, but sport is not the Gambia's topmost priority.
But I think it is not. But I think with what the government wants to do now, what we want to do
That's
now...
different from the fact that sport is not the country's topmost priority.
So I wouldn't see it that way. How I would see it from a government perspective is that we see sports as a
No, you are missing the point. We are saying, whether it's you, or Adama Barrow, or Usainu Dabo, or Esambay Fall, if the question was asked, what is the Gambia's topmost priority now? I don't think any of you will answer with sport. So that's an incontestable fact. All right?
What
Whether
makes,
you're
it,
trying
what
to-
makes it incontestable?
Just what
For
I
us,
said.
all sectors are a priority. For us, it's important
In all,
that we
in all
invest.
honesty,
That is
Dr.
why we're
Ceesay,
investing.
In all honesty, Dr. Ceesay, what is the Gambia's topmost priority?
So there are what they call the priority of priorities. There are priority
I'm
priorities.
not asking. No.
Now, it is a priority.
That is not my question.
It is a priority.
It is a priority.
It is a
But
priority.
what is the topmost priority of the Gambia right now?
So like I said, the way government works, sectors are so intertwined that you cannot choose one. This is a priority because they cannot work without the other. That
the
is the
economy
fact.
is the topmost priority right now.
But
the
if people
economy.
but if people are not healthy, there's no productivity. There'll be no economy.
That's the economy.
If
It is the
people are not
economy that,
educated,
it's the economy that takes care of your health and everything.
No, what I'm saying is that
Come on.
if people are not educated, there'll be no economy. So I think for us, as a government, we see every sector as a priority. Yes, economy is
Fix
important.
the economy and you'll get a better education.
But we have fixed the economy.
So
Our
the top
economy,
priority-
we
the
have
top priority is the economy, no matter
for
what
you.
angle you can.
For you.
Okay.
For us, every sector is a priority. Now, let's move on to the next point, which is the Ministry of Information. I think you had preempted that. The minister, His
Excellency.
Honorable
His
Dr.
Excellency.
Honorable Dr. Ismaila Ceesay participated in the 7th Forum on China Africa Media Cooperation in Beijing. You know why? What happened is that when you're outside of the Gambia, they call you Excellency.
In French-speaking countries, I suppose.
Yeah, but even in China, they were just calling you Excellency,
Oh, really?
Excellency, Excellency, Excellency. So this thing gets stuck in your brain, thinking that you are an
So
Excellency.
you love being called
when you are,
Excellent?
no, I mean, I don't even like being called Honorable. I mean, I find it really. Anyways, yeah. So I attended the 7th Forum on China Africa Media Cooperation in Beijing from 19 to 21 August. And in my speech, I advocated for stronger cooperation in media training, technology transfer, content co-production. I think we should shift from content exchange to content co-production, but also at the use of artificial intelligence and efforts to combat misinformation. So this was my speech there. I think, yeah.
If we knew you were traveling, maybe we should have told you that, already there's that kind of cooperation between us and CGTN, because on West Coast Radio 1, people now enjoy China government television network.
I didn't know. So I knew about an MOU between QTV and JRTS. And I discussed that in my speech. I didn't know.
Platform to promote GRTS.
I didn't know.
No,
I didn't
nobody
know.
watches
I
them,
know that. I know
nobody listens to them.
JRTS. I know JRTS really does that. And QTV also does that, but I wasn't.
We only know about ourselves, yeah. CBT,
I wasn't
everybody
aware
knows
of
it's
that.
on West Coast Radio on 95.3. He's pretending not to know, I'm sure.
And
but
I
I'm
think
sure
that's a serious breach. The minister doesn't know what's happening on West Coast Radio.
All right. If your updates are over, The Voice today provides, a number of headlines to which I suppose you would want to. Come on. I'm struggling with my phone. Opinion poll. I'm sure you've heard about the Gambia Participates opinion poll.
Yes, I did. Yes.
And The Voice is reminding us that the poll shows that 51% of Gambians say Barrow has the best chance of winning in 2026. So that's I suppose it's good news for you.
So I've read the report.
Let me just say straight up,
Yeah.
It's not 75% as you people believe, huh?
No, but look, the polls are just an indication of public opinion. It's not a verdict of the elections in 2026. And public opinions are public opinions. And as an observer of politics over the past years, I found that opinion polls have, on many occasions, confounded analysts, but also confounded even observers. And I'll give an example. In 2021, CEPRAS did an opinion poll in October, in 2021, a pre-election opinion poll. And in this opinion poll, it was indicated that President Barrow was put back to 31% of the votes. He ended up having 54%. Now, even this particular opinion poll, I've seen people attacking the methodology of the opinion poll itself. Now, every opinion poll has inherent methodological inconsistencies and bias. I wouldn't go into that. I'm not interested in going after the opinion poll itself. I'm looking at the numbers themselves. The numbers speak a lot. And I think whilst many people are making noise about who is having what, thinking that this
Barrow
is...
has 32%.
But let's go back to the first... let's go to the first quarter.
Dabo 25.
Separate the round 1 and round 2. So not Gambia participates. In round 1, Barrow got 31%. This was done in October 2025, I think. But Barrow was placed at 31%. In round 2, a couple of months later, we were placed at 31.6%. That's a 0.6... also 0.6 increment. You look at Usainu Dabo. Round 1, he was put at 12%. In round 2, at 24%. That's about a 12.8 percentage increment. For Talib and the Unite, in round 1, they were put at 18%. In fact, they were above...
Talib?
Of course.
21, he wasn't there. 21, he was in UDP.
I said in round 1. No, this is 2025. This is round 1 of Gambia Participate.
I thought you said in the lead up to 2020.
I said it October 2025.
Yes.
Gambia Participate did round 1 of their surveys.
Yes.
This is round 2. In that particular round, in 2025, they said that the opinion polls revealed that Talib was at 18%. Dabo was at 12%. Now, I want people to pay attention to these numbers. Now, in 2026, August, Talib was put at 19.3. That is a 1.3 percentage increment. That is why when I see celebrating like they won the elections, I was like, look at the numbers.
In the meantime, Dabo has doubled his figures.
So I'll come where those figures come from.
Okay.
Now, you go to Esam Baifal. He got 3% in round 1 and 3% in round 2. 0%, no movement. You go to Mamakande. He got 3% in round 1 and 2% in round 2, -1. You go to other candidates, they got 3, when they were bulked together, Doyes and the CAs and the others, they got 3%.
Your own CA?
All of them got 3%.
Yes.
In round 1. Now that figure went down to 2.4% in round 2, -0.6 percentage point decrease. Now you got to undecided. That is why now the issue is. Undecided was 29% in round 1. And guess what is it in round 2? 16.9%. That's
Yes,
a 12 point. It means the undecideds, based on this survey, I'm not, look, I want to give this survey the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, I'm not going to attack the integrity of the survey. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to look at the numbers and let's make sense of the numbers. I believe that opinion polls are an indication of public opinion and public sentiment. They are not the electoral verdict. Just that is the bottom line. Now, it means that the UDP has now taken a chunk of the votes from the undecided and added to their votes. Because if it was 29, now 16, there was 12% that was now available. Who took this 12%? If NPP and the allied parties moved only 0.6 percentage point, and Talib only 1.3 percentage point, and UDP 12.8 percentage point, it means that the UDP, based on this survey, like I said, I'm using this survey, assuming for the sake of assumption that it is a credible survey, it means they took from the undecided voters. But like I said, this is an opinion poll. And there is this concept in political science called psephology, that is behavioral voting, why people vote the way they vote. And it has shown that in most sub-Saharan African countries, short-term considerations are mostly what makes people to vote. For example, and not only sub-Saharan Africa, some people are mostly short-term. If you increase salaries a week before elections, if the food prices go down tremendously a week before elections, can really determine and sway.
Are these some of your plans? Because
No. I mean, no, look, I'm just trying to make things clear that, just to say, when I see people celebrating that,
you should have focused on why, UDP, has made this, astronomical gain, whereas others have either stagnated or even regressed in terms of.
We're not focusing on
rather
that.
than what changes.
We are not focusing on that.
Why?
What we are focusing on is what we can.
Because
do.
if UDP is growing at this rate, they have reason to believe that they will return to government after the 5th of December.
Were they ever in government?
Yes, they were. When Adama Barrow
it was a coalition.
It was a
coalition in government.
Yeah,
and not
so
UDP was never in government. They
were in government.
Part of a coalition.
Yes.
Not as a standalone political party in government.
Nobody is suggesting that.
Yes.
Nobody is suggesting that they ever, took power completely. No, they were in government as part of this coalition.
I agree.
And that is why in all our introduction today we were talking about returning
So
to
what
government.
we are trying to do as a government, like I said, again, let me emphasize this, that I'm not in any way validating the findings of this opinion, this survey. Like I said, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt with the assumption, and again, let me emphasize for the sake of assumption.
Again, based on assumption.
Exactly.
Based on assumption this is right.
We've looked at
Is
this.
it worrying to the NPP and its partners that UDP is growing at this astronomical rate?
No, but UDP is not growing at this astronomical rate. UDP is just
First
where
round,
they should be. They are default position. Because UDP they've never pulled more than 25, 26%.
No, that's not the issue. Let's look at these numbers.
That's what I'm saying. Even looking at this number, they are in default position. Because what the question should be now is that why were they at 12% in round one, even bit overtaken by Talib's Unite? That should be the fundamental question. Now is where they are default position. What happened in round one was really mind-boggling, because you cannot expect UDP to go to 12%. And Taliban Unite.
No, but you didn't raise alarm when you saw 12% in round one.
What I'm saying is that it's not for us to raise alarm. It's for UDP to raise that alarm. What we are focusing on us, how we interpret this data.
If you celebrated 12% and now we are looking at 25%, that should worry you.
But we never celebrate 12%. We never celebrate.
If you're saying, 12%, I'm sure when UDP were presented only as 12%, you must have presented them as
Unite was celebrating, thinking that they were taking UDP. We never celebrate. You see, when I look at opinion polls, I don't celebrate. You see, look, Peter, as a scientist, when I look at opinion polls, I don't celebrate. I look at the numbers and make sense of those numbers. And I think as a government, and we believe that, and I've said it, when people say game over, for me, it's not over until it is over. We are taking these elections very seriously. We are going to do everything possible to campaign hard with the intention that we are going to...
Suddenly you campaign hard. There was a time when you people were saying game over and saying you will win by 75%, even 80%. If you look at the roads
Peter, if you say my 75% qualified with the proviso, that was a proviso. I said if delivery is the only consideration why people vote, I see no reason why Barrow should not get 75% because he has delivered across multiple sectors. Yes. We're not saying that we are perfect. We're not saying that we've solved Gambia's every problem.
Let me ask you a question.
There are key challenges still the government has to grapple with.
Challenges like?
For example, stable electricity. It's a challenge. That's a fact. We cannot hide behind the fact. Look, we've done well.
I thought the president said, we went almost 2 years, or was it what? A long period of time, electricity was okay, and people were not complaining. After 2 weeks, everybody complained.
Peter, look, like I said, the country has made significant progress in expanding physical access to electricity. That's a fact. Nobody can take away that fact. With 90% of Gambians today having access to the grid, that is a fact. Our next major challenge is to make sure that now it is stable, it is reliable, it is also affordable. And that is what we are working on now. You see, Rome was not built in a day.
Have we put the cart before the horse here? Looking at expansion, access, before ensuring stability?
No, we did not. Because you know why today? The electricity problem is not a national problem. It's an urban problem. Most communities in rural Gambia are not facing this problem because we're able to guarantee those people stable electricity. However, the fact was that as a government, our priority was to make sure that all Gambians have access to the grid. Now, however it is interpreted, But for us now, our focus is to ensure that even though we have now expanded access now, we are working hard. And very soon we'll resolve this issue to make sure that we have energy security, to make sure that we have reliable, affordable, stable electricity. I think this is essential for like I said, His Excellency the President has a vision for this country. And that vision has a foundation. That foundation is to ensure that first we build human capacity. We build human capital. And then we expand infrastructure across all these sectors: energy infrastructure, educational infrastructure, health, sports, agricultural infrastructure. So that when these two now converge, this is the foundation for any transformation. Foundation for industrialization, foundation for job creation, foundation for business growth, and so on and so forth. And this cannot happen without stable, affordable electricity. And we are working on as part of our green transition. Now, we also understand, yes, and that is a fact, that there are challenges in terms of youth employment and employment opportunities for young people, even though we've done significant work on that front by providing TVET education. And people have to believe that, understand that education policy has a generational effect. If today a country is having challenges in terms of employment, youth employment, education, challenges in education, this is because most governments inherited. This is because the policies and interventions that were done 25 years ago were not right. Even today, the education you give to your child today, you wouldn't feel the impact on the 25 years later when he or she graduates. So now we understand that we are trying to bridge this gap. We are investing in TVET education. We've built multi-purpose TVET training institutions across the country. We are building specialized TVET training institutions across the country. We are helping young people with new startups through projects. Today, as we speak, like I said, almost 15 active projects with donor partners are taking place, which focus on youth entrepreneurship, which focus on capacity building, which support TVET education, so on and so forth. So we are working on that. And again, like I said, security. We know that it's a challenge as well.
Just before we get to that, just go back to this poll and then close out everything. Are you still confident that Barrow can or will win by at least 75%, as you once openly declared on this platform in December?
There is no impediment to my confidence that His Excellency President Barrow and the Alliance will win the next elections come 5th December 20. There is no doubt about that.
By taking at least 75% of the total
with
votes.
The proviso that if people's voting patterns are informed by delivery alone and no other consideration is there. Like I said, for me, I see no reason why I cannot get 75%. But what I can tell you is that President Barrow is going to win the elections, and that is something that I have full confidence in. I have no doubt about that.